What villain was terrifying because they were right? Colonel Kurtz. We train young men to drop fire on people. But their commanders won't allow them to write fuck on their airplanes because it's obscene. Roy Batty. What was done to him and his kind was wrong and he had righteous anger. General Hummel from The Rock. The replicants from Blade Runner. Used as slaves and given artificially short lives. They just wanted to live and be free. Frankenstein's monster. Adam. Created by a short-sighted, arrogant doctor as the first of his race. Then denied the opportunity to be part of a community of his own. Man-made beings. Or the human community. He only became monstrous after it became clear that Frankenstein would never create another of his kind. And was driven mad by his desire to punish Frankenstein's hubris. I wasn't really terrified of it, but N was right in my opinion when we're talking Pokemon. Dude thought getting these creatures and making them fight till one is knocked out wasn't that amazing of an idea, and it just made sense. Dracula in Castlevania the series. Bobby Heenan. Spent the 80s telling us how awful and selfish Hulk Hogan was proven absolutely correct in 1996. In hindsight, Heenan was trying to save us all from the inevitable scourge of Hollywood Hogan. Not a true villain but Squidward. Damn, is SpongeBob an annoying neighbor? I'd hate him too. Syndrome when everyone's super, nobody is. Poison Ivy isn't terrifying, but she's right. Maul. His last words before being captured by the Republic was, "You're all going to burn, you're all going to die, you don't know what you're doing," he tried to warn Ahsoka of Palpatine's ultimate plan. But she didn't listen. Terminator 2. It's in your nature to destroy yourselves. Ultron browsed the internet for 30 seconds and decided humanity had to go. The guy in Korra who wanted to end special privileges for benders perfectly captured that right idea. Fascist execution concept and dread. Ozymandias. He outsmarted the most powerful being in the universe. And won. There actually weren't flaws in his logic or execution. Not really sure if you can consider him a villain. But Peacemaker when he went on a rant about Batman causing countless deaths because he refuses to kill supervillains. King Ghidorah did nothing wrong. GLaDOS, she was absolutely right, you are a terrible person. Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze. I root for Magneto when watching the X-Men movies. He's objectively right. And Days of Future Past proves it. Magneto. He knew the hate humans had for mutants. And wasn't as blindly optimistic as Xavier. True Malcolm X of the mutant rights movement. Where is Q from Star Trek? He introduced the Borg just to prove a point. For all that it mattered. Save for a literal deus ex machina. Mass Effect's Sovereign was right, you exist because we allow it. And you will end because we demand it. There was no stopping the Reapers. None. Not one iota of legitimate hope. Sovereign laid it out like it was the facts it was. Without ego, pride, or delusion. And you knew he was right. 2. Lex Luthor. We're only safe as long as Superman think it's fun to be the hero. Poison Ivy is an environmentalist at heart and Raj Al Ghul is a humanitarian. Both were pushed into extremism after the broken system they're trying to fix simply refused to change for so long that they decided the system itself needed to be torn down. I'd say John Goodman's character from 10 Cloverfield Lane. He was insane for bring those two into his nuclear bunker and kills one of them. But he was completely correct that aliens had invaded. Good movie by the way. The Hamburglar was just trying to save children from childhood obesity. The bears from Goldilocks and the Tree Bears. Gore the God Butcher from Thor Love and Thunder X200B. Even if the end was a bit cheesy, he truly is right and terrifying because of it. Xanathos from Gargoyles. Ishmael from the Wheel of Time books. Basically time repeats itself and there's a guy who's trying to stop time from repeating. Ishmael reasons that it is statistically impossible for the good guys to beat him every time, so the Only way to win is to side with him. He's literally just right. Senator Armstrong, he predicted our future in 2013. The mom in Mrs. Doubtfire. Maleficent. The king was a piece of shit and deserved everything she did to him. Gerald Butler's charter in law-abiding citizen. The dude make you root for him. Even when he's killing mostly innocent people. Kinda makes you wonder what's wrong with yourself. Dexter Morgan. I wouldn't say he was a villain, but what he did was right even if illegal. For sure Vulture Adrian Toomes in Spider-Man Homecoming. It was not necessarily terrifying. But I still remember I'm sitting there watching that movie and I'm like, hey, this guy actually has a point. After Spider-Man and mainly Tony Stark fucked him over on purpose, I was like, yeah, Adrian. Fuck those guys. Agent Smith. Jaws. Y'all keep comin' into my house, the ocean, I'm gonna eat you. Dr. Horrible. Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin from Spider-Man. In spite of everything you've done for them, eventually, they will hate you. Dude was right about how the perception of public figures changes over time. Rick Darris. He exposed the shittiness of Caitlin Bree, and Dante ignored everything and still dumped Veronica to get back with Caitlin. Technically, Randall spilled the beans. But it was because of what Dante told him. Dr. Evil.